we are living through the climate change of culture, which is driven really by our digital infrastructure, which is inhumane because, it's unsafe on any screen. We're forced to use digital infrastructure, which is extractive to us for the things that we need. And we're starting to face we're already in some very unprecedented times where technology is increasing its ability to cognitively dominate us. There's a kind of accelerating human hackability that we're feeling from all corners, everything from CRISPR on the biological side to the intense amounts of extremism, polarization, mental health issues, loneliness epidemics. These are all things caused by our social operating system, our digital infrastructure. And it's not necessarily a bad thing that human beings are, in a sense, persuadable. We could create the conditions in which our values are aligned with the incentives of our systems so that we can, have an extant species, because all of the biggest problems that we face are these kinds of collective action problems. But instead, our information environment, because it's optimized for surveillance capitalism that is stealing as much data about us as possible to build models about us that then leads to behavior capitalism, where our behaviors and our psychologies individually and at scale are manipulated and exploited for profit. What we have is a kind of unfettered, deregulated capitalism powered by massive supercomputers controlling massive persuasive environments, strip mining us for our data and conditioning our behavior. We need a new kind of protection for human agency and dignity. I got asked this question a while ago by a friend, like, why is it that modern cultures systematically abuse farm animals? And the answer is, I think, very simple. It's the market conditions says that those companies that exploit, in which those cultures which exploit animals for resources are the ones that outcompete the other cultures. Which are the companies that make up the most profitable companies in human history? Oh yeah, they're the ones that give away a free product, which means we're the product. They're the ones that are using us as human resources to exploit. And where we're looking for in the intent for this workshop was, this is a hyperobject. This is a hard problem. It's the scale and size of climate change. When human beings get hit with an object, a systematic problem this big, we sort of freeze in headlights. We don't know what to do. But each one of us, especially in technology, in policy, and in art, have been climbing up a hill. And from top of that hill with that particular expertise, we can see parts of the landscape, but we can't see the whole thing. So the point is, if we can learn how to talk from one hilltop to another hilltop, from tech to policy to art, so we can all speak in language that is shared, we can actually see the whole picture and make change. Fundamentally, this is a question of who do we want to be as a species? The power of our technology is now so strong that the values that we give it get written back onto our society. It's starting to have the hand on the pen of history more so than culture or other driving forces. And that question of who do we want to be is the question that artists are best able to help us see, right? We think we've been looking into mirrors, but we're actually looking into as a funhouse mirror that we think is our screen. And it's worse, it's a one-way mirror, it's a lying, surveilling mirror. And what we need are real, true mirrors, which are artists reflecting back who we are and who we want to be. So in the end, the intention was to build the relationships, let us talk across our different hills, and set up a framework in which you could actually create the conditions in which comprehensive reform can happen. Like this, tackling the surveillance and behavior and attention capitalist markets. The only way we're going to do that is not by individual piecemeal legislation, but by something sort of like the Dodd-Frank Act in 2008, sweeping reform to protect parts of us that have never been under attack before and are so clearly under attack now.